for sure.
Mm.
I will say I will have to dip out
How's the
here
stream
around
live?
8ish. So
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I am hanging. I'm not even. So I've been trying to figure out streaming lately. I have no idea what I'm doing. As far as trying to uh get on here.
Okay.
Um, but we will see who comes in here and what comments come through and things, and we'll just hang out. So and so I guess for people that are watching this, oh, who is the yawning?
Yeah, are we live? Sorry, apparently we are.
Sorry,
live.
we are live right now. Sorry about that.
Man, just blindsided us. Like
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Look, we're very professional streamers. That's for sure.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But yo, the yawning, how you doing? Glad you could tap in us with this. Our end of year, or at least my end of year, like hang out with the guys and things. Okay, born again lunatic. All right, we here. Bet. So this is Anime Relatable. If you are new here, if you're not new here, welcome. I wanted to do something really, really special. For Piercing Heaven, what's going on? I wanted to do something really special for the end of 2024, and so kind of give a little bit of a backstory. About 2 years ago, I started Anime Relatable, and I was like, "Oh, bet! Like we are finding a way to, be in the Christian space or be in the Christian YouTube space, and to be a light. And what better way to do that by anime, right?" And so I saw all these ways in which I saw these Christian themes in anime. I was like, "Okay, bet! Like I think this is a great space to be able to talk about this stuff." And so I started YouTube. First year was cool. It was great, but along the way, I met some pretty cool people, right? And so I met Patson, Podcast Son, was probably one of the first people that I saw posting videos about Christian anime. I was like, dang, my idea was stolen. But second, I was like, oh snap, this is actually pretty cool, because there's other people that also kind of are thinking along the lines of like, yo, there's this great form of media that's anime. How can we be a light in this space? And so I was like, okay, bet. Pasan did a couple things with him in the past, and I'm hoping I can do more in the future for sure. But I was like, okay, bet, cool. And then along the way, I also met Nate. I was like, oh snap, Liberated Otaku, that's crazy. And so we did some stuff together. We did an interview. What about in the summertime? Somewhere along there.
Couple months back, yeah.
And I love like kind of getting to know him. I still want to do some stuff with him. And along the way, I met a bunch of different people that will pop in and out of the stream. They kind of celebrate this end of year for Anime Relatable, but also for everyone else in the Christian anime, nerd, gaming, whatever it is space that we're in right now, because I think all these people are really, really cool. And so before we get into kind of like just the fun of just like, yo, what we liked about the year, reflecting on the year, what we're looking forward to, I want them to introduce themselves to you guys if you already don't know them. So you guys can flip a coin. I don't know how you would do that, but you can introduce yourself. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll let Podcast on go first. He got the nice mustache.
Oh, thank you very much.
There we go.
I think I have seniority here, so I'll have to go. Hello, everyone. I am Podcast Son, the host of the Christian Anime Podcast, and the podcast is real now. We've had a inside joke in our community where the podcast was like that part of the channel name wasn't actually real, and it was just the Christian Anime part. But basically, I make videos on how making connections between our Christian faith and the anime that we watch. So, for example, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, even though it's an insane name, is a Christian anime, mainly because of the love, self-sacrificial love that Sakta has in that anime. So if you want to see more, I've got a ton of shorts now explaining in like 30-second chunks why an anime is Christian. And yeah, I think I mentioned before stream, people get very triggered, and it's very funny reading the comments because it's like, oh, you're reaching, man. But no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Nice.
No, that's right. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Nate. I'm the Liberated Otaku, and my channel is obviously about anime and faith, but I started it off because I wanted to blend my 3 biggest loves in my life, which is faith, anime, and personal development, because I truly believe that everyone still has another level that we can all reach to. And just like how Jesus taught via parables, why can't we do the same with the stories we're watching today? So that was pretty much the premise behind the channel, how I got started. And oddly enough, listening to Eli talk, man, I got started the exact same way. I saw you and podcasts on because I was doing research, right? I was scoping out the competition, and I was like,
Oh my goodness.
there's a need for this, right? There is a um, I guess like I don't want to say market because that sounds like we're selling something, right? But there's a space where people are looking for this type of content. So I'm just glad to really be a part of it with these two giants in the space, man.
Yo, that's actually crazy because so first Pots on he is the giant. Like definitely we can give him that crown, right? But I know there's other giants that I don't know of, but as far as I know right now, Nick with no K is a giant
He's
right
popping
now.
off. He's popping off right now.
He's popping right now, and I'm like,
Mhm.
bro, I don't. What are you doing? Let me like try to. And one of the things like we talked about this. I think a few months back in the summer, I was like, oh, like okay, like this person's doing that. Can I copy this? Is that okay?
Right.
Like, can we do that? And it's like, of course it is, right? Because like you're obviously gonna put your own twist to it and things like that, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, don't plagiarize and things like that. But I'm just like, bro, like that's some good stuff here. I gotta take notes. I gotta do what I gotta do. But so I'm excited to. I hope he can get in here at some point. I'm going to get him on something if he can't make it today. But Nick One OK is definitely goated. But everyone in the space is goated, and I love that there are people like you guys in this space because I think you guys honestly do make this space fun because like obviously it's funny being like, oh, what's the competition, right? But it's like honestly it's like in a sense it's friendly, right? It's like, okay, bet, like yo, who can I honestly like I get so like, yo, dang, that's crazy because I think Pasan did something a few months ago. What did he talk about? Was it it was the Luce thing that happened. I was like, yo, bet. I'm looking this up. I'm working right now. I'm like, bet. As soon as I get home, I'm cranking out this video. As soon as I look on YouTube, I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
My son got to it. And I was like, dang, that's crazy.
It's so over at that point, eh?
but I was like, dang, but this is some good stuff though. Like I can't even hate. And so and it definitely like helped me in thinking about, okay, how can I make this video but make it differently? And so I love that. So for you guys, I think one of the first things I want to just talk about is like for you guys as a YouTube channel, like how has your year been? Like what has been the year like for you guys as you reflect on 2024? The things that you accomplished, things that you didn't accomplish. What has the year been like for you? I'll let Pasan go first.
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good. I mean, it's been a not a rough year because I think I've still been making videos. It's still been popping off every now and then. But yeah, I think I've recently just reflected in terms of like just this content strategy in terms of how we're presenting anime, right? How we're presenting Christian anime because the only reason why blank so I have this format, right, where I'm like blank is a Christian anime. The only reasons why those videos pop off is because they're seasonal anime, and usually the anime that I do that are anime that are super old, they don't do as well. So yeah, I've just been reflecting in terms of how to change that, and I guess I'll share later what's going to be changed. But in terms of other things that have also happened, I had like this 2-month hiatus because I was just super busy at uni, and I wish I hadn't had done that because it really hurt the channel in terms of growth. Like it stunted the channel's growth because there just weren't any videos coming out for this whole 2 months. And then I got into live streaming, mainly because we here are like Christian anime content creators, but then I stumbled into this whole world of Christian VTubers, and there are like apparently there's a ton of them, right? And I've met all of these very lovely people like Celestium, who's been popping off on Twitch. There's a few other people as well, like Lady Lork. I think she's about to pop off as well. And then there was Nick with no K as well, who has Saint Asagi as well, Gabriel Gracia, Netherrack. So there's a ton of Christian VTubers out there, and I was like, I just didn't know that these guys existed. So, and it's just through them, it's just through those connections that I got this VTuber model now, and I'm a real VTuber now, and not just a PNG tuber. So, yeah, there you go. So it's been up and down in terms of how the year has gone, because I've made a ton of videos, I've streamed a lot, but there's still to be work to be done. And for those of you who were on stream like last year, one of my goals was to reach 100k subs by the end of this year. I'm pretty happy with like 5k. But I still want to I still want to get 100. I think 2025 is the year to get 100k, and I sure hope that's the case. So yeah,
it can happen. I think it
Yeah.
can happen. Yeah,
Awesome, dude.
and bro, like the new look is like amazing too. I was like, yo, this is like, you got the hair with it now. Got
yeah, I'm
love
not
yo,
just
I
like a
loved it.
PNG anymore.
I was like, when you popped that out, I was like, yo, come on, this is why you the leading voice, bro. Like, come on now.
Exactly,
Yeah,
dude.
for real. I think like, I mean, the biggest thing as well is like it's just the VTuber model, right? Because I think when I had the PNG tuber model, right, it was fine, and this was but when I'm watching a video as well, I want to like actually relate to a face, and I think you can't really quite relate to a picture. So I think having like an actual model now is really good in terms of like just relating to an audience, and like I'm actually confident coming on these streams because I'm not just like this bouncing picture, and I'm not quite as real as you guys, but I'm still there. I'm close enough, right?
But the yawning asks, what is the next evolution after the VTuber?
Oh, I don't know. It's like a
Oh,
better
wow.
VTuber model. Like this isn't like I really appreciate the model that so Momo is my VTuber papa who did both my art and my rigging. So yeah, I guess the next step is just a better model. But even at this point, this is like a really good model, even though it's quite simple. There are still there surprisingly are things to go. Like when you look at some of the bigger VTubers, the quality that their models are at, they've got tons of stuff going on. So I guess the next evolution is like a 3D version of this.
Oh, that'd be dope.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
Nate, how about you, man? Like, how's Liberated Otaku been this year? What has been life as a content creator, as a YouTuber, been like for you?
No, it all sucks, dude. I'm quitting today.
Oh no!
We've got to hear the announcement today. No,
Yeah, that's right, dude. I was saving it just for this moment. But yeah, no, it's been kind of like podcast I'm saying. There's been ups and downs, a lot of it because like the channel is not even 2 years old yet. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. So and for those who've been around long enough to see the evolution of my videos and stuff, like, don't go too far back, but they're kind of rough, and some of them are still a little rough around the edges. But for me, the biggest thing was just figuring out, okay, how do I want to be as authentic as possible while still conveying the message I want to convey? Because kind of like you were alluding to earlier, Eli, about it's not exactly plagiarism, but you're trying to take notes from other content creators, see what's working, right? Because there's no original ideas anymore. We're all just putting it together in our own spin. But even when I was doing that, none of it really felt kind of real up until these last couple of videos I put out. And I noticed the common theme is I'm focusing more on like the reflection, because all of these last couple of videos have been personal reflections in my own life that God has shown me, and I'm just taking that and broadening it out a little bit to make it more relatable to people. Then I just ship it out, right? And those have been doing a lot better than some other videos, so I think that's kind of where it's been. But outside of that, I've also had plenty of opportunities to meet with other content creators. Obviously with you, the thing we did over the summer. Just recently, I was able to sit down with the the creators of Gabriel and the Guardians. I don't know if you guys heard that's coming up.
Really? Ain't no way.
Yeah. I had a chance to sit down with them and kind of had this hour-long interview mock session, and that was really cool because a year ago I wouldn't have thought I got a chance to sit down with somebody who's actually making a show that they're putting on TV, right? So just a lot of good stuff, a lot of growth, a lot of learning, learning how to edit my own videos and do stuff like that, and make them they're all it's pleasing to the eye and to the ears, and not just me yapping for 20 minutes, right? With PNGs sliding across the screen. but yeah, no, it's been good so far.
Nah, I mean, bro, you might be you are a giant in this space, bro. Like out here interviewing like TV anime. Come on now, bro. You're not giving yourself enough credit, bro.
Nah, look, dude, that's glory to God, sir. 'Cause I don't know how that happened. I was like, it's honestly it's the same way that happened with you when I reached out to you, man. It was like, hey, the worst thing to say is no, right? Then
oh wait, that's kind of crazy because I'm just normal like that. I'm going to say yes. Like I had no other opportunities. Like just kidding.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's really cool to hear, and that's such a good opportunity as well. Like I'm really excited for Gabriel and the Guardians actually, like where that goes. 'Cause, yeah, I think just the rumblings from the past half year, I think there is genuinely like a something going on with Christianity and anime, and something there, right? And I don't quite know what it is, but I think Gabriel and the Guardians, I have a feeling that's if there is something big in the Christian anime space that's gonna pop off, that's going to be really involved in that, just making it more popular, like that idea of a Christian anime, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. Because I was thinking about this because I feel like with anime like that, with Gabriel and the Guardians, like we won't have to like do this sort of this like trying to like intricately like trying to pull out the theme of like, okay, how can we point this theme or whatever that maybe some Christians look at as like dark and demonic, or just like hey, Christians shouldn't be using that. Like we won't have to do that with Gabriel and the Guardians. I'm hoping at least, not at least, right? It's like, oh, this is a subvertly like this is a Christian anime, and I don't gotta say anything to it. I could just watch it, be like, this is what I liked about it, this is what I loved about it, this is how I see like, okay, you may not be familiar with the Bible, bet let's go to it. And like I think I'm looking forward to that a lot, because like it kind of takes off the brunt work for the Christian anime YouTubers that are here, that will be coming, that have been in the space. Like it'll take a lot of the work off of what we're trying to do with other anime that aren't necessarily Christian, or it's more definitely Japanese focused and things like that. And then you'll have the people being like, this isn't an anime because that's also okay. I think that
yep.
I think that like it's fine, right? But I think that it would definitely be a needed anime that when it fully comes out, like I'm looking forward to what the response will be. I think I'll quickly go, and I have another question for you guys. I think 2024 has been interesting. I think it definitely has been a year of growth for sure. I always listen to this YouTuber, or these YouTube education like channels, vidIQ, Think Media, people like that, right? And like what they usually say is like, okay, when you get to your first like 1K subs, usually getting to your next is a little bit like kind of it just happens, or it's a little bit easier. And I'm just like, okay, that's interesting, because like, am I not gonna have to put in the same amount of work as I put in before? But I think the thing is just like it's kind of like compounding, where it's like, okay, that you kind of already figured out like how to operate the YouTube thing, right? And so when you're kind of cranking out videos faster, you're being more consistent, you're putting out videos that people enjoy and people are just liking the stuff and they're subbing to it, and it's like, okay, cool. And then it kind of in year 2 of the channel, I guess, like that's kind of happened where I'm like, okay, but I got to 2K a little bit earlier than I thought I would, like in 2024, obviously like 2 months in, or 2 months before it's ending 2024. I'm like, oh, bet, like 2K is kind of crazy. Like I didn't expect, I thought it would just be like maybe a little bit after 2024 going to 2025, or just maybe just barely like a week left. It's like, oh, I did it, that's great. I think it's been a really good year where I'm like, okay, I think I valued, I tried to value like consistency a lot as far as like just like at least if I can do anything, if I can just post like one video a week, bet like that's what I'm for. 'Cause I think like I tried. And not, I have my moments where I post like multiple videos a week or whatever, but I'm like, yo, I'm trying to keep up. It's like all of us, I think we all want to be a part of the YouTube partner programs. So it's like, okay, bet we gotta crank out these videos. Like they're not hitting the watch hours like that, so we gotta crank out some more. And it's like that's exhausting, right? And I think for me, a lot of times I had to kind of remind myself, like, okay, what is my identity actually in when it comes to actually doing this? Like, yes, I think obviously the things would be great. I think being a YouTube partner would be great. I think all of us want that, right? But I think it's like, okay, bet like if what's the impact, right? If I could see a comment of someone being like, yo, like you really helped me kind of look at this differently, I'm like, oh, okay, bet, cool, I love that. Not sure if sorry, I got sidetracked. But yeah, losing my identity and trying not to lose my identity in 2024 has been like kind of the constant back and forth for me, especially with other things going on in personal life too. That's been a kind of a constant battle for me, and I kind of had to remind myself, like, yo, why exactly am I doing this? Who exactly am I doing this for? And is it worth losing myself if and getting to like my goals of like however many subs or getting to the partner program, if at the end of it like I've elevated this channel, anime, whatever, over me in my relationship with Jesus. And so I think the focus is just kind of being like, okay, bet, not kind of going too broad and pushing out like multiple videos or not trying to and going crazy over it. Just being like, hey, just commit to one video and just see what happens. I think 2024 I've seen that. I'm like, okay, bet, cool. I don't know if it'll change, especially the way life is. It will probably be like going into 2025, but I think that's kind of been my 2024, for sure. And so I think kind of going into like kind of that, talking about that, what has life been like for you guys personally, as far as like walking with Jesus, and maintaining personal life, job, like podcast on uni, like what has that been like? Managing all of that and also trying to grow this YouTube channel on the side. Like, what has that been like for you guys this year?
I'll let you go first this time, Nate, actually.
Oh, okay. Stressful because like you said, right, because we're all really trying to be the YouTube partners, right? And this is growing on the side, but you kind of have to look at it like it's another full-time job too, right? If you want to do it seriously, you wanted to kind of get to that level, and because we are. And so for me, I was kind of leaning too far on that side, and I was frequently experiencing kind of burnout. Like you said, Eli, I couldn't really keep up with the demands from my normal 9 to 5. Family life here, trying to help take care of stuff around the house and keep myself sane all throughout it. So, but I feel like the Lord's really been speaking to me and kind of just working with me. Is like, okay, actually, case in point, listen to church service this past weekend, and the pastor was like, God wants to reset you going into this new year, and there's a couple things that are kind of blocking that. And the things he mentioned was like, okay, you're being distracted by too many other things, not really focusing on what God's called you to do. And the other thing is you're exhausted because you're overextending, you're stretching yourself out. And those two things are kind of keeping you in place, so to speak. And I feel like that kind of touched my spirit. And the Lord was like, okay, I told you to do this. Like, I told you to start the channel, to do this, to reach my people, but you're getting ahead of me. And I feel like that's what the Lord's kind of been telling me this year, is to kind of pump the brakes, find a nice rhythm and let me walk with you and you not go ahead. And that's just kind of what I've been kind of taking to heart here lately, just trying to make sure I put out nice quality things while also not losing focus as to why I'm doing this in the first place.
I love that.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, that's really that's really good of you to share, and especially to make yourself vulnerable as well,
Yeah.
in a very
Yeah.
public
Hey.
platform. So it's very good of you. Um, in terms of my life, I think it's like, because I also do youth leading, and it's
Nice.
I think
Nice.
that's why if I had never done youth leading, I think I would not be in a great place. And even though like it's a really really big commitment to do every Friday night, and then also volunteer at a camp, and then also do
Mhm.
uni as well, I think um it's something, because and also have a part-time job as well. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's all of these things. I think God puts me in because like I just don't want to be like sitting around, right? So I think, because
Mhm.
if I didn't have youth leading, then I wouldn't be getting closer to God. I wouldn't be ministering to kids. I wouldn't be
Mhm.
like spending time with other Christians, right? So I think that's it. Yeah, it's busy. Yeah, it sucks that I have to do all of this stuff. And yeah, it's like there's I get tired, but I think um I love the passage where Paul talks about like us, God giving you um so much, God giving you just enough that he knows that you are capable. Like he's never going to give you more than you are actually capable. So I think and that's just so true in my own life, right? Where I am able to just I am able to just do a lot. And it's cool, but it's not of my own strength. It's only through God being able to do that. So yeah. And I think
That's cool.
especially when I'm I think I shared this with some of the boys on our Discord server yesterday, but whenever I'm writing something as well, whenever I'm writing a script for a Christian anime video, there are certain times where I'm like, God wants me to put this in, or if I'm writing something about a story and it's going a bit too far,
Mhm.
I think I feel that I feel the Holy Spirit convict me and let's say like, no, that's way too far. You can't like just be you can't just be really silly with the stuff that you're writing about. So I love that I have this channel. I love that life is busy as well, because that means I'm not just like sitting around doing nothing for the day. So yeah.
Got you.
That's
Uh,
good.
yeah, that's really good. I think I love what you said about kind of you're doing all these different things, right? And you're like you're being busy, and you're not necessarily like just you know bet I'm just sitting here, I'm gonna just make videos all day. And once you can, like if you get paid to do this in your job, cool. I think that's amazing. I think everyone
Right.
should do that, right? Um, but I think there's also like there's this real life kind of God uses these different things that are happening in your life to, like about of being busy, right? Whether it's like ministering at youth camp, whether it's serving in our local church, being around our friends and serving them, doing all these different things in order for us to see Jesus more and get more of him through service. I think it like kind of gives it a good little balance, which I think for this may go to the religious fanboy. How do you balance YouTube ministry? Which that's also maybe another question. Like, do you guys consider this a ministry, right? But I can ask the question after. But it's like it's sort of a good like balance of doing this, because I think we're not just getting sucked into the things that are going on here. It's like, okay, but we're actually with real life people doing real life things, and like we're getting edification, and we're growing from those things, and it's helping us rather than us just being in the online space all the time. Which I stole that. Well, I kind of stole that line of thinking from Ruslan because I watch him a lot, and so he's
Mhm.
like, yeah, this isn't just what I do. Like I really active in my community around me. I'm just like, that's a good. I think every creator, whether you're Christian or not, should be in that space of being like actually being involved in your actual real life and not just make this your whole thing, which some people do. And I think we can see like when that goes too far. And
Mhm.
so I love that you kind of like, yeah, like God's using all of this in my busyness, even though this sucks and I'm tired and I think I just want to do what I want to do. It's like God's using this, and I think I'm okay with that. Um,
Mhm.
so I love that. I think for me, and then I do want to ask like, so yeah, do you guys consider this as a ministry? Because I think I've got to ask that a few times by even in comments, but just having conversations with my friends, and just thinking about it. But I think for me, my walk, like it definitely has been a busy season of life. I think I work in. I think I may have told you guys what I do, but I'll just tell you offline because I often try to like
Yeah,
not.
don't.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's been a very busy season of life, right? And I think
Mhm.
for I guess for general context, it's ministry related for sure. And so I think um in real life you can really get burnt out by just like pouring all the time.
Mhm.
And I think in a YouTube setting, like you're pouring, like you in Christian, whether you're Christian or not, like you're pouring all the time, right? You're pouring out ideas, thoughts, you're pouring out content for people to either get entertainment from or be edified by. And that can be a small amount of like, it could be a joyful thing, but also it can kind of just add on to the sense of like, yo, you're just pouring out and doing things. And I think for me,
Mhm.
it's trying a little bit of a balance with all of that. That's why that kind of the one video a week rule has been implemented for me, because I'm just like, yo, if I try to do any more, I'm probably gonna like quit. And I don't want to do that. But I think kind of even to co-opt what podcast son said, it's like I think God has been using all of that. Like there's been some really like vulnerable moments like in just life in general where like it's caused me to be more dependent on Jesus. And I think God has used all of that to be like, yeah, even this fun thing that you're doing over here that is really like you're enjoying it and you're growing in it and it's great. Like even that can be sort of like a burden if like you kind of let it pile on you and you're not walking with me. And so I think God like has been using all of those things to help me to see him more. And it I it's weird because it's like, dang, like why do I feel like I'm busy all the time? It's like, yo, I have interests and like hobbies and things that I want to do that aren't just YouTube, but it's like, dang, like I feel like I can't even do those things. But I think in all of it, I think God has been really walking with me through that and really helping me keep perspective, and just also having some great people around me to just like really speak life into me. I have these friends, we have I guess a collective. I don't know if he wants me to do this, whatever. It's Fried Ink. It's Fried Ink Collective, which is fine. It's just two of my friends that are manga creators, and they have their own manga. They do their own thing, but also like I'm the video person side, and I think it's been really great being able to have them speak life into me, and also the same vice versa. And just seeing like this whole year and this journeying together has been really edifying for me. And so shout out to Noah and Kai, because you guys, and at least in the creative aspect, they really have. I think God has really, used them to keep me, afloat for sure. And so
Nice.
I think that's definitely helped me in balancing. And so I think, what I guess a good question to ask, and going back to religious fanboy, is like, do you guys see this as a ministry? Or do you guys see it as entertainment? Do you guys see it as hobby? Do you guys see it as a
Mhm.
business? Like how do you guys see this? And have you guys gotten pushback? I know there's a lot of what comes with this, a lot of negativity and toxicity that come and things
Mhm.
like that. And I think I maybe want to talk about that a little bit, but we don't have to. But how do you guys see what you guys do on YouTube?
Like I had this discussion with Nick, when I did a podcast with him a few weeks ago, because I think when I really don't want to call my stuff because I think there's a very base level. I think when the Christian goes out and ministers to people, right? That's our calling, right? To make disciples of all nations. But then to call something officially a ministry, because I think on a everyday level we are meant to be ministering, or we are meant to be still discipling other people, or the community around us. So that's how I see my thing, right? It's not like a minute. Like I don't think I want to ever compare my thing to like, oh, I'm doing basically the same thing that John MacArthur is doing, or like, or or oh, I'm basically doing the same thing as Mike Winger is doing. No, it's not really, because I'm not a pastor. I think
Right.
when I haven't been to Bible college. When I say stuff, it's not because when I say stuff on the internet, I am aware that people might actually follow it because they trust me.
Sure.
But I don't think that's why I wouldn't call myself a ministry, because I don't want people to trust me on the same level as they would trust like a pastor, like a pastor Mike Winger or a pastor Paul Washer, right? So it's not. So yeah, in my view, yeah, sure, it's like on a individual level, you could call it like a base calling, discipleship for a community, but it's not like a ministry in the same sense, like a bigger, like a church is a ministry, right? So yeah, and I think like I got an email, if you had seen it on my community tab that I posted part of, because there was like this really triggered person who was like, you really shouldn't be doing this stuff, and you shouldn't be calling. And I think that's the sort of thing, right? Which is we're not here to be super serious. There's a level of seriousness that we are trying to outreach to non-Christians who do also watch anime, and we're trying to make those connections, right? The new video I've got up, which is what makes a Christian anime, basically talks about this, right? Which is how we want to be outreaching to people. We want to be creating the story that, hey, the themes that we see in anime are actually very, very closely related to Christianity. So if you consider the themes in anime, why don't you consider if you consider anime stories, then why don't you consider the gospel story as well? Which is that's what we're always trying. That's what I'm wanting to try to do. Always wanting to try to do on the channel. So, but that's not a ministry. It's just we're just chatting about anime. So yeah, that's kind of how I deal with that.
Yeah, I love that, and I think I've seen that. Oh, we got Reformed Nerd. We got.
Is he coming?
Oh my goodness! Wait, I want to answer that. Yo, what's going on?
Can you guys hear us fine?
Yeah,
loud and clear.
Nice.
Oh, we got. I wish I had. See, this is how prepared I need to be for these streams, because I wish I had like hand clappers, because I don't. And I need to invest in those things.
You gotta have your the sound system.
Yo, I gotta have the sound. I might have to invest in that. Like, I was trying to figure out what I needed to get for Christmas, and I couldn't think of anything. I was like, but I need a soundboard, so that might be a birthday present. Might have to.
What'd you get, baby Jesus?
Ain't no way.
My recommitment of faith to him.
Okay.
My tithe every month that comes out. Well, I don't know, but yo, we have a giant. We have a legend in the Christian anime space. We have a Reformed Nerd.
Man
so happy that they. I'm so happy that they're here. And I love that. So, all right. So I know you guys probably have a little bit more time than Patsan and Nate. So we're kind of talking about, is this a ministry? Like what we do on YouTube, is this a ministry? Is it not? You guys view it as that? If you do, why do you view it like that? If not, like, sure, like why not as well? But to talk to what you said, Patsan, is that I think I've seen that shift of like sort of like kind of it being like, hey, we want to be able to reach people as well, but we also want to have fun as well. And I think I've seen that in your content too, with like sort of like, have you been playing Power World lately?
Yes, sir.
And so I think I see like and even like the karaoke too. I'm like, yo, what, like this is a thing, and I think that's like you're like you know tapping into the VTuber like community more, that like you're doing that, and I'm like, yo, that's fun, and I love that, and I think you're kind of showing the aspect of like, hey, like we're serious about Jesus here, we want people to know him, but we're gonna have fun too, like we're gonna like and you're gonna see that, you're gonna be able to interact with that and engage with that, and so I love that.
I feel like that's my youth leader kind of side kind of showing now. So it's like
nice.
But that influence is starting to creep into my channel. Oh my goodness.
I love that. Nate, I want to, what for you, how do you view this? How do you view this as ministry? Do you view this as like, hey, hobby, just trying to grind out content? What is that like for you?
Well, and I'll honestly kind of all of the above in a sense. I really do like podcasts on view on it as it's not such a giant grand scale ministry, right? And when you hear ministry, you do think about like churches and the outreaches and stuff like that. But the overall ministry we're all given, right, is to make disciples for the Lord. And the way we do that is different from person to person because we all have different gifts and things we're good at, right? For me, for one reason or another, people listen to me when I speak, which I don't understand why. I'm just
Why would they do that? I'm with you. I don't know why they would do that. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And I'm just as clueless as the rest of you. But whatever, we're all going to charge in together, right? But I really do have a passion for trying to develop people because just kind of give my answer is the answer is in the name of the channel, right? The Liberated Otaku. And it's kind of a dual meaning. One is I view myself as the Liberated Otaku. I'm an otaku, right? Anime, nerd culture type stuff. But I've been liberated in the sense that, God has freed me from a lot of the negative thoughts that I've had in my life about myself and self-esteem issues and stuff like that I've talked about in plenty of my videos before on the channel. And then on the flip side of that, it kind of represents my viewers as well. Like they're also nerd anime geeks and otakus who are dealing with some of the same struggles that I have been dealing with, and I'm just a little bit further along than them. So I want to bring them along the ride, right, to get them to that next level. So in a sense, I view it as all of the above, right? It's my personal ministry that I'm doing. I'm using the gifts that God's given me. I see it as a hobby because I'm learning a whole bunch of new stuff, like how to do video editing, how to really like storytell, because when we're making these videos, we're storytellers, right? And learning how to just write more, be more precise with how I'm speaking and things like that. And yeah, I wanted to make it a business one day. I would like to be able to kind of coach people along personally on the one-on-one journeys and things like that. But whatever he has in store for me, man, I'm just here for the ride. I'm enjoying it. So
got you. I love that. I love that. Man, I'm excited to hear just the different testimonies that come out of like what like you guys do like here, right? Because I think like we all make different impacts in different spaces, cross paths and things like that. But I think just from a lot of what you do, whether it's like reviewing this as a ministry or not, it's like people are still impacted, and like how however that comes about and testimonies that come from it, even if we don't see it when we get to heaven, we might see it. That'd be great. I'm looking forward to that for sure. But all right, Reform Nerd. Andre, right?
So it's Andreessen, but I tell everybody call me Andy.
Okay, Andy, got you.
He's Americanized his name for the peoples.
you don't gotta do that. Andreessen.
It's been like that for years, brother.
Got you.
Always gets my name wrong, so I'm like, just call me Andy. It's short, it's easy.
I was gonna say something really inappropriate.
Behave yourself.
Bro, okay, Manny, Andy, introduce yourself real quick. Introduce your channel, and then I also want to hear like, hey, like, how do you guys view what you guys do? But take it away. I'm so excited for this. Let me mute my.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go first, and then since Andy's like my brother in arms, but I had done a bunch of different YouTube channels in the past, just kind of trying different things out. Like I got into drawing quite a bit, so I had that going on. I'm into business and real estate, and I started to do a little bit of that. And then eventually I landed on the Reform Nerd. And the whole thing behind it, and it took me a while to find my flow, because I'm like, what's the best way I can put it? I'm a teacher at heart, right? So we all take the word very seriously, right? So a lot of my videos at the beginning were very like, okay, I'm going to teach you about the Trinity. I'm going to teach you about this. And then I'm going to use some anime content to link to that, which is fine and is great, depending on what the focus is. But when I first started Reform Nerd, I remember talking to Andrea about this. I wanted it to be like when we hang out with our friends, right? we talk about anime, we talk about business, and we always go back to God, right? Like we could be talking about Dragon Ball Z, and then we'll think of a character, and then we'll think about a story from the Bible, and then we'll start intermingling all of that and the lessons that you can get from it. My problem is that I'm always like in teach mode first, so I had to like unlearn that because I wanted it to be more of a chill channel. Like I didn't want it to be like a Mike Winger or an Alan Parr type deal. They're doing their stuff, that's great, but I just wanted it to be a place where people could come, chill, maybe learn something, and just have fun, right? So that's how, if you see my videos at the beginning to now, they're a lot more relaxed. And Andre came in and he helped a lot with that, because if you notice, a lot of the times when we're doing stuff together, for whatever reason, I'm able to just like relax more, I'm cracking more jokes, which is the feel that I've always wanted for the channel. So I think like in that respect, Andre has been a blessing in the times that he's able to come in and participate. So that's kind of like more or less the intent for the channel. And then I'll let you go, and then maybe we can get into answering their question about the ministry and all that.
No, I mean, I think back to like, for example, when even before Reform Nerds started, we had like the lives we do on Facebook with our wives, and like interacting with people. So it's kind of weird because God has always, and just in general, God has always kind of like intertwined our stories together in more ways than one. And so
sounds a little sus, bro. Like,
no.
Okay. So to add some context, our wives, his wife and my wife, they're sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So we're family basically.
But
so.
we knew each other
beforehand,
before knowing the girl.
Yeah, he ended up coming to like my church at a point, and so it's a whole deal.
That's
Maybe we'll get into it.
That's actually an amazing story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my biggest thing is just I'm stuck with this guy for like ever, right? So how is it that I can support my brother? And so when he started with all the different channels, I'm like, all right, let me buy t-shirts, let me help out, let me send videos. And I think it just turned into like one day, was like 2 years ago or a year ago, you were looking for somebody going to live, and I'm like, oh well, my kid's already in bed, let me go. And then we kind of just continued going from there, and yeah, it was right around that time frame.
We started doing the live things.
Yeah, we started doing the lives. I started feeding content because Manny, his brother's got a lot going on. So I know sometimes I gotta be like, hey, let me send you this video, listen to it. What do you think? This is what's going on.
And Andre is like very much a Christian gossiper. He has like, he has like all the Ruslans, and he knows everything that's going on in Christendom, if you will. So he's kind of like my link to that. Like I find out because, he's on that. Same thing with anything. Like I barely pay attention to like what's going on my wife is the one that tells me what's going on in the news, right? So he's a good balance to that when we started doing like the live stuff. But then, I had a kid, he had a kid, my third, his second, and then we haven't done like a live per se, but we've done some recordings for sure.
Yep. So you guys are like you guys are operating on different levels than like. So I love that everyone's at different like life stages in the community. At least for the people that I know, right? Like some people are single, right? Some people are dating, right? Some people are I'm married, right? You guys are married and have kids. So it's like, and not just one, you guys have multiple. And so it's like, you guys are navigating like a different, like life, life range and trying to figure out like how to do life and navigate life, but also how to, make engaging content and things like that. And like,
go
ahead.
Now I'll say like, for me, I'm a creator at heart. Like when I'm drawing, it's so fascinating to be able to bring something from your mind onto paper, and then like you created something, right? Like in that regard, obviously we're all taking part into that image of God. Like, everyone is meant to create to an extent, but for me, that's how, a lot of people, for entertainment, you'll go for walks, you'll play video games, you do something. Like I like to create. I find it fun. So this ministry, Reform Nerd, is one of the places where I get to do that, and I also get to relate to a community, although small. It's kind of fun to see like every once in a while God will bless my life with somebody saying, hey man, like this content really affected my life, thank you for putting this out there. Like I remember this one guy came in one of the videos, and he had just lost his grandma, and he wanted some advice for that, and I ended up creating a video just for him, based on David and how he lost his son and how he dealt with grief.
Yeah.
So, God has definitely blessed me so much, even if it's, here and there, you see the effects that you have. So to answer that question, which we kind of started on, which is like, is this a community? Like, is this a ministry? Is this a business? All that. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, because like growing up, I was like, I think it was like a visual group or something that I wanted to start way back when, like probably like 8 years ago in one of my churches, and a brother kind of gave me some advice, and he said, like, man, not everything has to be a quote unquote ministry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could just be something that you're doing for the kingdom. It could just be a group. Like, you don't have to make it this whole, big thing or this quote unquote ministry. Like, we're all here to serve. And I really took that to heart. I'm like, yeah, man, like, that's so true. Like, you don't have to, because sometimes you get so behind like the paperwork, like, oh, you got to do all these things in order to officially make the ministry, in order to be able to do something. Like, sometimes, you just got to do something. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't know if I would necessarily consider it a ministry.
I would say, yeah,
per se. I mean, I think people could call it that. It's a channel where I get to chill and try to impact people's lives. That's just the way that I see it. And hopefully God allows me to bless as many people as possible with it. To be honest, that's how I look at it.
I look at it in the sense of, right, what's the Great Commission? Go out and make disciples in all nations. And so I look at this as a ministry because in every aspect in our lives, we should be ministering to others.
Oh,
right? Yeah, here comes the Christian. Right?
all right.
Yeah.
All right, preach.
Oh yeah, we got a pre-sermon today. Hold on.
In every single way, and even in the ways that we least suspected, we should be able to touch people in some way, shape, or form. So that's why, for me, it's like I try and look at it with that seriousness as to, even if one person gets affected by it, that's going to be more than enough. Even if we don't see it, right? We may be sowing the seeds, but somebody else is going to reap it. And just in the fact that God has involved us in that process, to me, it's like, it's a ministry in that sense. Now, like, are we a 501(c)(3) and do we got funds from the church and stuff like that? Not necessarily. If God allows that to happen, then praise God. But if it doesn't, we're still doing a work that he started and he's gonna finish.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Amen.
Yeah, I love that. I think just to add my own thing. I'm like, is it cool?
Yeah.
Like I talk about Jesus, like at least in most of the videos. I'm like, okay, I talk about Jesus. Does that necessarily make it a ministry? No, I think in some capacity, I think for the most part, at least to my knowledge, like we all kind of serving some sort of ministry like function, right? And so like you kind of can like tell the difference where it's like, okay, like there's the ministry that I'm actually doing here in real life where I'm like actually with people, and then there's like, I'm on YouTube talking about different things that maybe I'm like seeing like the news or in the anime community, or I'm like Ruslan reacting to it. Let me take that and react to it as well. Like I get that a lot. I'm like, I'm just
it's the age-old debate. Are you a Christian YouTuber? Or are you a YouTuber that's a Christian?
And I think even this is a side note, because obviously I'm a Ruslan fanboy. Like my wife hates it, but I'm like, I'm a Ruslan fanboy. And it's like,
I think your wife and I would get along great.
but
It's a fanboy over here. You got the shirts, the hats, everything.
Listen, I got the sweaters. If you guys should see on top of them, I got the Bless God stuff.
I got the Bless God John too. I got the prayer journal here somewhere. I haven't opened it yet.
How is it? Oh, you just got it? Yeah,
I just got it. I'm actually trying to like be like, okay, but I'm trying to steward my notebook that I already have. So let me finish this before I actually get into another journal or whatever. So I'm trying to.
All right, you and I are gonna have to do a video, and we're gonna have to review this.
I have it. Well, I had one. My wife stole it from me. She's like, "You're not using it."
Oh my goodness!
From Lucerne, from his thing. Oh, okay.
So I got that journal, and then
I could have sworn that was supposed to be like for men.
No,
didn't he have one for men?
No, I think
because
no. Go ahead.
Because he also has I bought this actually for one of my pastors and his family, because I also got the leadership journal, the prayer journal, and the devotional.
Oh, you tapped in for real. Okay.
Damn, bro.
Dude, that 50% off, man. I was like, let's go.
That makes sense, yeah.
Send me some of them tides.
Yo, I love that.
We got the Elgato, so
facts.
But But yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, like I talk about Jesus, like, but also I also want to have fun, but I also talk about like different pop culture things too, and like and some things that are
I
that
see
like,
you getting
I'm
into
passionate
some
about.
race debates.
Oh my
Relatable.
goodness.
Trying to get into some fights out there.
I don't want to, and that's not on purpose. I'm just like, like I think people are image bearers, and like I think it's unhealthy if we treat other image bearers a certain way. That's not even on like a sort of like a political tip. It's just like, don't be jerks to each other. You know what I mean? Like, so,
That's true.
but I think that's a good segue because I want to talk about like how do you guys deal with in the year 2024. I think we all experience sort of negativity in some type of way, right? Whether that's from comments, from different people saying whatever. How do you guys like deal? How have you guys dealt with that in like this year, or how have you experienced it recently? Anyone can go. Rock, paper, scissors. But yeah,
You want to go, Nate? You haven't talked in a while, by the way. So.
Sorry, I was responding to somebody in the comments here.
Shout out to you for being my moderator,
Yo,
bro.
we gotta
Like,
get
I
it
didn't
live,
actually
bro.
that.
Speaking of comments, let's get into some fights.
Well, usually I'm the one in there fighting for you.
All right. Well, so sorry, I can't multitask like that. Eli, you repeat the question for me one more time.
Now you're good. How have you guys in for this year? How have you guys experienced certain negative things, whether that be comments, whether that be certain videos from critiquing the Christian anime space? I don't know if there is a space people doing that, but or just in general. Like, how have you guys experienced that, and how have you dealt with negativity, whether that be from your own channel or just out there in the world affecting your channel in some way?
Gotcha. Well, yeah. So obviously, there's always just trolls out there. Some of the negative comments that I've just kind of gotten are, some of them are just people, they're just trying to be hurtful, right? You can just tell that right off rip. But then other ones are like, okay, why do you guys have to put God into everything, right? Why can't we just have anime and just be, it is what it is. And for me, I'll admit at first, since my channel's my baby, right? It's brand new. I'm trying to get into it, and every video I make is a banger, obviously, right? So how dare you say that it's trash? And I used to kind of get in my feelings about it and start really questioning, okay, am I really right to be doing this? But the more I started doing it, and the more comments that I started seeing, people like, thank you for putting out this video. You've really gotten me through a rough spot. Or like, man, I didn't know I needed this today, or just different things like that. It shows that, okay, for every one bad actor, there's like 100 other people who need this content, whether they know it or not, whether you know it or not. So that really helps to kind of keep me going when I do get the purely hateful comments. Now there's some that are more like critiquing, and I try to do my best to take those to like, okay, maybe this is something I should be able to tweak here or there to improve my content for my audience, right? Because ultimately it's for them. But as far now, I'm just gotten to the point, if I just see a just blatantly hateful person that's trying to start some mess, I just remove the comment. Like, I don't have time for that anymore. So it's like, if you want to have a discussion, if you want to, talk about some things, then sure, by all means, but if you're just being hateful, then you can go find another corner of the internet, as far as I'm concerned. So that's kind of how I've been doing it.
I love that mute button is amazing.
I just want to, I do want to pipe in here as well, and just involving Wyatt Sims as well. His question there, I really want to make Christian anime content. What's the most important thing I should know? And I think that's the thing, right? Which is negativity. Don't like. You're always going to get negative comments, and you're also going to get really good comments. And you're also going to hear God as well speaking to you. And I think it's all of those things combined that I think when you do get negative comments, don't get discouraged, because if this is something that God wants you to do, and if this is something you're doing for God's kingdom, then why should you be scared, right? If God is with us, then who can be against us? So I think negativity and trying not to dwell on that is really important. Now, I am cheating as well slightly, because I don't put my face online, right? And I'm using a VTuber model, which is how I kind of deal with negativity.
Are you hiding it? What's going on? Can we hear the story behind that?
No, I think it's because if Nick with no K comes on, there are reasons why I don't put my face on. And if you guys weren't aware, Nick with no K actually, I think he got doxxed like earlier this year,
Whoa.
because of the content that he creates, that it's Christian anime content, and he's on Twitter as well, and Twitter is kind of like that. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't put my face on, because I think here in Australia especially, I don't know how it is in the US, but considering a lot of the people here, I've heard of a lot of Australian YouTubers as well who have gotten death threats, and they've gotten like their address leaked and etc. etc. So that's why I kind of don't put my face on, and that's why I cheat. It's like when people put negative comments on, they're not attacking the real podcast on, they're attacking podcast on, which is online, and that identity is kind of separate from my identity, my real life identity. So real life podcast on isn't being attacked, right? It's online podcast on that's being attacked and has negative comments on it. So that's how I deal with it. And I guess the rest of you guys can kind of lean into more of that, because you guys are actually putting your faces on and are brave enough to do that.
But I do think when I do think, from at least from when I see, I'm usually like, especially if there is some negative stuff happening on like any of your guys' channels, but especially like for you, Pops, I'm like, yo, anytime like there's something negative happening, like, and usually I'm like, okay, these comments are kind of crazy, but usually you end up handling it really, really well, especially if it's coming more from like the, not even just negativity as far as comment side, but more so like even in just the, you know, whatever space, because you also like, you're in the conservative sort of space as well. So you're diving a little bit into politics and stuff. So it's like, even without you being like having your face being shown, I think like you engage in that space really well as far as like, you know, critiquing like what people are like actually saying, and like, you know, trying to go through like the straw mans that people are, you know, putting out there when it comes to anime, or when it comes to, you know, whatever sort of political thing that's happening. I think you do a really good job in like, you know, handling that. But I'm just like, yeah, complete opposite of me, because sometimes like I'm ready to fight. Like I'm not ready to fight. I don't want to always fight, but like I'm like, I don't like.
Sometimes it's nice. You feel like a little. Like,
it's nice. Sometimes it's sinful, and I have to repent and be like, yo, yeah, that's probably not the best thing for me to do, right? Usually when I try to like, you know, at least the negative side, you know, and this is, I guess, me responding to that. Usually, if I'm interacting with something negative, I try to be really like thoughtful, like to realize that, hey, there's also a person behind that screen as well. So like, even if they're being hateful and negative towards me, it's like, okay, bet, like, I don't want to give them that same thing in return, because it's just going to fuel the fire a little bit more, right? And so, and usually, honestly, like, in, you know, if I'm going back and forth with somebody, or there's someone leaves something negative, like a comment or whatever, I'm like, okay, bet, cool, I understand where you're coming from. This is where I'm at. But you know, we don't see the same, you know, we don't see the eye to eye. Bet, that's okay. I hope, you know, I think Jesus still loves you anyway. And usually, like, saying something really nice to negative comments, they usually don't comment back, because I think usually either they're trolls, or they're just, you know, they're angry at something else that's not you, and so they're projecting it onto you. And I'm like, yeah, a nice comment will quench that fire a little bit. So usually that's how I do it. But my first response, honestly, I do like to fight, like, and especially when it comes to when it can come to ethnic things, when we're talking about race or culture or whatever, like I usually, my first reaction is to fight, which is unfortunate, because I don't think that, I don't want to be that way, which is 2025. Like, I think I'm trying to die a little bit less on the hills that I try to die on, like, when it comes to my channel. But that is my first response. I'm just like, yo, you know, this is not okay. And it's like, hey, you're treating someone else that's made in the image of God, like, horribly. I want to be able to defend that person, even if I don't know them, and I don't know how much of an impact my, you know, me going, you know, guns blazing towards whatever issue that's happening, how much is actually really doing something. I don't know if it is or not. But usually that's my first response. So I don't really handle it the best way. But really, but when I try to, like, when I do engage with comments or negative comments and things, I'm like, okay, bet, like, you know, let me talk to this person like they are a person, and to see what happens. And I don't really pray for them. I try to. I'm like, okay, Jesus, I do want this person to know you. I don't know if this video is making them angry, whatever. I just hope you know, enter their heart in some way, shape, or form.
Anime Relatable is like, I'll pray for you.
you know, I'm like, I might write you in my journal. You got this little spot for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, my first reaction is the fight, and that's usually with a lot of not just with YouTube content. I'm like, yo, my friends are being treated wrong. Like, I'm like, bet I am the one that's like, all right, bet, let's go. Like, I'm ready.
Okay, Peter.
Not that I actually want to actually throw hands, because I don't want to risk my life and be thrown in jail and like my wife leaves me forever. But it's like, that is my first reaction emotionally for sure. I just leave it at that.
Hey, just real quick. I actually gotta hop off here. Again, relatable.
Nate.
Thank you so much, man. I'm sorry.
Nate.
Look, dude, I got a virtual date with my girlfriend, so I'm not
Damn.
missing that, brother. I gotta go.
That's a pretty good reason, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good. Bro, thanks for tapping in, though. I really appreciate you, bro. And 2025 is gonna be amazing for you, dog.
Sure, for all of us, man. Thanks again for the invite. Definitely not salty. It was, last minute, but whatever. We're here.
wait, I definitely tagged you on that community post, and I was like, yo, I want to.
Look, I don't remember that. Nah, I'm just kidding.
It's fine.
I appreciate it. Nice meeting you, podcast.
Nice meeting you,
Nice
man.
meeting you guys.
Yes.
Reform
He's
Nerd
very cool.
and chat.
All right, before you go though,
yeah.
I think we should do a live on whether anime Christians should be watching Dandadan. Because
I'm on the 4 side. I will be completely honest, because
let's talk about we should talk about that one.
Yeah,
Set it up, relatable.
We could do a later live.
I'll
I
have
think
to-
Nick. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it now, because I know Nick with No K already did a video on it, and I'd love
Don't
to
watch
know
it.
his, because
That anime from the devil.
it'd be really good to get
Here we
him
go.
on as well.
Here we
For
go.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I think
dude.
that would be a good one. But bro, I won't keep you any longer. Thanks for coming on, bro. I really appreciate you. I hope your day
What
goes
a
well.
beautiful man.
Thank
Go
you.
on.
Thank you. All right. Appreciate it, guys. See you.
Have a good night,
See
man.
ya.
Good night.
Persevere, my brother.
Cool. We are. Wait, hold on.
We are back.
Let me do that.
Yeah, we'll have to do it that way. I just wanted to say as well, because I think, especially because I'm terminally online. I've been terminally online for a very, very long time. So I've been in the internet space for since I was a teenager. And I think you get to a point at my age where where you get like thousands, not thousands, but you get like so many comments every day now that I'm posting on Instagram and TikTok as well. And do you really have to respond to every single comment? And I don't think, sometimes you just leave a one-liner and that's fine and you don't look at it again. But when you're at the point where you've got so many people posting negative comments already, and I love trolling as well.
Dang,
So
Mr.
sometimes
Big
I
Shot
troll.
over there. Thousands. Woo. One day, bro, when I grow up,
Sorry,
I'm
I
gonna be
shouldn't
like
say
you.
thousands, not thousands, but you know what I mean. Even if I get like 10 comments, like if I open my phone and I've got like 10 comments from different people who are hating, then like is it really worth my time when I could be doing something better, and when I could be actually talking to people who do want to be part of the community and do want to are bought in with the vision, right? So yeah, that's so I get your reaction to fight, but it's like I don't got the time for that right now.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I'm like with Nate. I know he said he likes mute comments. I'm like, yo, I feel that same way. I'm just like, but I'm also like, I want them to see, do their thing, whatever. I don't want them to be blocked or whatever. But it's also like, yeah, dude, yeah, it's all right. Do I really have time for it? They're just probably a troll. That's okay. Just keep it moving. So I like that too. I'm taking notes as we speak. Well, not really, but I mental notes for sure. But for you guys, how do you guys handle negativity? Like, what has been the negative experiences for you guys?
You want to go?
Yeah,
And then,
so pretty much, you don't look at any of the comments. He ignores them all pretty much, unless he wants to go on and just do like satirical comments. I think that's one of my favorite things about the channel is that it still takes people a long time to realize that we do a lot of satire stuff, like a lot of satire stuff, and like people just don't get it. Me, I get on there with my own YouTube account and I'll just start going back and forth with some people. I mean, like when we did the Billy Carson video, man, so many people just came out. So I was just going through the list and I'm like, there was one comment like, oh, I know 6 people that can smoke Wes Huff in a debate. I'm like, who? And I'm still waiting for the response on that. And I just go through. I'm just like, if I'm feeling it at the day, I'm like, I got the time right now. I
And
got
go
the
in.
time. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, so one of the things about the channel, outside of it being like a chill place for people to come, primarily I was aiming to reach people that weren't necessarily Christian, you know. So for me, with the Bill Carson one, it was like,
Low hanging fruit.
well, no, well, for me it was an epiphany, because like, oh man, like it's actually working, because a lot of the comments were more for the side
Yeah.
that wasn't for the Christians. So I'm like, okay, great, then we are reaching people that don't know God, which was the original intent of the channel. So that for me made me happy. Those negative comments let me know that, okay, the audience that we're reaching are people that maybe don't know Christ, and it's an opportunity hopefully for them to check out some of the other videos and interact, and maybe they'll give Jesus a shot. For me, I don't know, man, like I have so much going on with, like, you know, family, 3 kids, work, you know, other businesses that we have, my wife and I, that it's like I don't even have the notifications turned on, so it's like maybe when I remember, like once a week or twice a week, I'll go see what comments are there and then I'll reply. But and I think largely it's just due to my personality. I don't take a lot of things seriously to begin with. So for me, it's like I'll engage, and most of the time for the negative comments, when people come in, I'm like replying just to like give them a hard time more than anything else. So for me, it doesn't really affect me in a negative way. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I can really, because I know that, you know, you were saying that you're struggling with that piece, and I'm trying to figure out something that we could give you as a means to be able to help with that. But to me, it's kind of like anything in life, man. If you're doing your job, right? If you're doing what you can to help people, to help others, then people getting mad at you or being negative, like that's their problem. That's not my problem, because I'm not coming at you trying to fight you. I'm not coming at you trying to offend you, although the gospel offends. So if you're taking it that way, that's because you wanted to. So for me, from that perspective, I don't get mad that other people get mad, because they're getting mad either at something else, somebody else that made him feel a certain way, and it's not necessarily what I put out there, you know. So that's why for me, I guess I don't take it as serious, you know, the negative piece, you know.
Yeah, I love that. You guys are definitely more sanctified than me right at this in this current moment right now. So I love this. I love. Yeah, I think honestly, I think that's a good way. I think that's a good way of looking at negativity, and yeah, also just taking a reality check. I think just being like, okay, yeah, this is not real life. Like there, you know, this is, you know, there are actual people in my real life that I actually, you know, not saying that you shouldn't care about the people online, but it's like, hey, these people, what I do actually affects them, and so I think being more worried about that is probably
they're not paying your bills, bro.
That is true. hey, unless you're making money off the views, I mean, you might, you know. But that's good. That's good. I want to, cause I also don't know how much time you guys have. I also probably
have like maybe another 20 minutes,
right around there. Yeah.
Cool.
The wife hasn't sent a text yet, so.
Pasan, how about you? How much time do you have?
We'll go 5 minutes. I'm just, because I've got a Among Us collab soon, and I'm just seeing like the group chat pop off. When they at me, I'll probably get off by then.
Okay,
so.
cool. What I want to do is act like, and then, you know, Reform Nerd, we probably stay on a little bit longer and talk about. I have most of the questions, but what for you guys in 2025? What are you guys looking forward to, or is anything coming up as far as like changes with the channel, projects that you guys are working on right now? What is 2025 going to look like for you guys in the Christian anime YouTube space, or just in the YouTube space in general?
Yeah, in terms for me, I haven't completely pivoted, because I'm still making shorts and still making long form videos. But basically, the stuff that does well on YouTube is not there's stuff like mine, where we've got a community and everyone's like, oh hey, we totally want to try and make the Christian anime story a thing, and the Discord that we have, the community that we have in the comments and on Twitter as well. Everyone's like really invested in that story. But in terms of reaching out to other people, the way that I'm pivoting my content is I'm not covering just one anime in a video. I'm covering like one broad topic. So for example, my recent video on like, oh, what to do when you have no hope, and then I talk about 4 anime that have storylines about what people do when they have no hope, and then and then connecting that back to God. Or I recently, one of my favorite videos in a long time actually was a waifu of noble character, which is based on the Proverbs 31 passage that talks about the wife of noble character, and then I just go through each verse and then assign like a anime girl.
I'm gonna have to react to that.
Matches that.
I like
yeah,
that. That title is fire, man. I love that title.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's one of my favorite videos in a very, very long time, because I think when I did blank as a Christian anime, that format, that was really fun, but it was really tiring to just watch an anime, write a script, and then make a video on it. But with this, when I'm talking about multiple anime at the same time, I'm just drawing from my knowledge of like different plot lines from anime, and I can just like put that all in one video, and it's not like super tiring to edit either, because it's like the editing for it as well is just it's just really easy to go through, because I'm just picking up different clips from different places. So that's the direction that the channel is going in. And then all the blank as a Christian anime is still living on with my shorts, and because I that's what I noticed with my other videos, which is they were basically review videos, and then 30 seconds at the end I'd explain why it's a Christian anime. So I was like, hey, why don't I just put that 30 seconds at the end and then just make it into a short? And it's been popping off on TikTok and Instagram, not quite yet on YouTube, but I think I said earlier before the stream started that TikTok is just really funny, because people get very, very triggered very easily on TikTok. So yeah, and just reading through them, I enjoy them, because I think it shows that like what Reform Nerds is doing, it shows that it's being reached out to non-believers, and that's the sort of audience that we want to capture, right? So yeah.
The editing is a real strife, huh? I feel that, man. That's time consuming for sure.
Yeah. So
I was gonna ask, is it easier because of the V2 model, or is it, like easier to edit and stuff, or is it, is it the same like normal, like as if you were
the
editing?
same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the same. It's just I add another thing on it, because wait. So one of the good things about a VTuber model is that I have a green screen here. So yeah, that's why it's actually way easier to do it like this, because that means I can just put anything in the background, and unlike if I did it in real life, I'd have to buy an actual green screen, which would be really annoying. So to keep in my room.
I was wondering how you do how you have like the in the background, like, and you have the I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How? Okay, I found out your secret.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all of you
There's
just
that.
found out your
There's
secret.
that.
So, bro, I love that, bro. Thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate you, and I always like from day one since I found you, fan of what you do, and so I'm really excited for you in 2025, and I hope you do get to 100K. I think you can do it. I think you have like
100K,
like,
yeah,
100K. I think it's possible. You
gotta pray more, man. You're not praying enough. That's the thing.
Hey, yo, I'm dead. This sarcasm, I love it. It's very Northeast sarcasm, which I'm for it. So
it's all in good fun. So I don't mean to offend, by the way. So if I say anything, because if I say anything that's a little too much, just let me know, because I'm just I can get into trouble.
I love the sort of I love that sort of humor as well. It's just like whenever I try it as well, it's like it's so much fun when you don't take things seriously, super seriously. Of course, there's a time where you take things seriously, but it's humor is a good way to keep things fun.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. And
be
hope we
off.
get to do some stuff together. Hope we get another live and we maybe talk about Den to Den. So
Mm.
if you watch it, let us know. Like we have a group chat together now, so you could just put stuff in there
Yeah,
and
for
just
real,
do
for
whatever
real.
you want in it. So yeah, we definitely gotta do this again. But like, yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
New
and keep
York,
doing it, man.
Australia, and the other guy was from where?
Yo, where is he from?
Got Boston, New York,
Yep.
Australia. Man,
Brother,
look
definitely
at
be praying
that.
for you, man, because
It's a worldwide movement. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Australia's no joke with the attack on Christianity right now. It's wild. I've been keeping up a little bit. I don't know if you might have heard of. I follow.
Well, he lives there. So.
I know, but I mean, like,
Yeah, you don't say, man.
I follow Echo Church, and I know they're based out of there. So I've seen some of the stuff that they've been bringing up about, like, the government going up against Christianity. I'm like, yo, this is wild.
Echo Church is kind of crazy. I love the stuff that they're doing as well.
Yeah,
Some of the stuff that they say is absolutely insane. I don't agree with everything, but you know, it's always good when we've got Australian representation internationally, and like that's why we love Echo Church for.
Wait, is that the guy that is that the pastor that was recently on Ruslan's channel?
Yeah,
Yep,
that
exactly.
guy.
Got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's a little out there, but I like following him just because it more brings light to stuff.
You're gonna have to send me a clip. I don't.
Yeah.
So I can become familiar.
He's definitely his style is definitely to get clicks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a nice way to put it,
Bro, that's another live.
Yeah.
I gotta come on y'all live stream, bro, to talk about this, John. This is crazy.
All right, I'm out of here. Have a lovely
All right,
rest
brother.
of your
God bless you.
gentlemen.
Bless, Matt.
God bless. God
bro.
bless.
It is the Northeast. We are.
Yep.
Oh, wait,
We are.
Bro, what do you guys have in store for 2025?
So there's been a couple of changes. We haven't been able to do as much lives.
Yep.
Because we have newborns, so it's been a little difficult. But we have been doing more recordings. We've done a few of those. So for me, actually, because of how much less time we have now, because my wife, when I'm in here in my office, she's obviously out there manning the fort with the kids. So for me, really is trying to bring about videos that still impact, while at the same time diminishing the amount of edits that I have to do. So I've been focusing a little bit more on like reactional videos on things that I want to talk about. So for example, like the Dragon Ball Z stuff that's coming out, the Dun 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 stuff that's there, any other kind of content that I come across that I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because that when you're reacting in a way, you're just dealing with that one clip.
For sure.
So you're going back and forth between what they're saying and, you know, whatever you want to add on to it. So from that piece, it makes the editing a little bit easier, less time consuming, so that I can still put out content and still, you know, get across what I want to say. So that's something that I think is going to have to be a shift for a while. While at the same time, any anime that I'm watching, I'll still create like my own videos, but those are going to be a little bit further apart in between, just because the editing would take a little bit longer to do. So that's, I think it's one shift. Also, we're including a little bit more like pop culture,
Exactly.
things that are going on. So it's not just it does, we do have the anime stuff, and you know, we have that content and we relate it to Christ, but also, you know, either Christian apologists or things that are going on, we're also doing that. So right now it's like a mix of both. And to be honest, like I'm enjoying that, because I feel like sometimes you're doing gymnastics in your head on like, okay, this one video about anime, is it going to be for people that watch anime and are willing to hear about Christ, or is this about people that love Christ and maybe watch some anime? So there's a lot of gymnastics that happens when you're creating this video and trying to get the attention of those people. But now, since we're doing a little bit of both, it's a lot easier, because then it's okay, this is an anime video. The main focus is people that are familiar with the anime. Obviously, you always include your Christ stuff when you can. And the video that it's more either a debate or something else, and you focus on that, and you're still kind of like serving both communities, if you will. So
for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely that. And for 2025, trying to find more how to get on my side some a little bit more content out there as well too. Because like honestly speaking, Manny's been holding down the fort more of it, if not all of it. So I'm kind of more just trying to figure out more of the social media stuff, and then also create content on there to kind of post up as well.
You've been thinking about doing your own channel too, no?
That's always been a conversation. That's always been a conversation. I mean, my wife has been telling me for a while to do it, because I'm all over the place too, right? Like I'm a big car guy. I'm always looking at just like pop culture stuff. I'm always looking at different ways to to self-improve. Like I've been on a big John Delaney kick recently.
Okay.
Who's that?
From the psychiatrist that is a part of Dave Ramsey.
Oh yeah. I don't even know his name, and I've done like reaction videos to his stuff.
I've seen that. There's been like a lot of financial stuff too. I forgot the guy that he's always arguing with people online about like their horrible spending.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. The big dude with the glasses.
Yeah, he's hilarious to watch. So it's like my wife has been on my case for a little bit because she's like, "Yo, you can make something," but it's like because I'm so scatterbrained sometimes, I'm like, where can I go with it?
Getting that focus.
Yeah, that's been the tough part. So this has been my outlet right now. I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
How about you, Relatable?
Oh man, how about me? Honestly, I think I'm gonna try. Like for the sake of for sanity, I've been like earlier I told the guys that I was posting like one video a week, just trying to
bro, you were consistent for a while. I'm like, yo, this dude is getting in.
Yeah, I've been trying to crank him out mainly, or just for one every week, mainly because it's been working with my schedule and like just editing and things. Like sometimes I just don't feel like editing, but it takes me a little faster now because I'm a little bit better at it. I'm lazy. I'm just like, yo, sometimes I just want to chill. Sometimes I get home from work. I'm just like, I don't want to really edit a video because I feel like not that I'm working, but I'm just like, I just want to
see if your wife will be like, baby, can you just edit these videos for me? Like,
bro,
teach her how to do it.
I could do that. You know what I mean? I might just do that. You know what I mean? But depending on some life changes, we'll see about that. But yeah, so I might 2025 might start cranking out, maybe try and go into 2, maybe trying to figure out a live format because I really do enjoy doing live stuff, but I haven't really quite figured out okay, how do I do this? Like, how do I cater this to like to start to talk off the cuff or whatever, like have notes but like not talk from like a script and things like that, which I can
preach. Start preaching.
So I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm trying to like, okay, how can I go to two videos a week? It might just have to be one, be
okay with the mistakes, man.
Which
be
I think
okay with the mistakes.
Yeah, which I'm trying to. Like I think I'm more okay with it now. So we're gonna test it out in 2025. Try to do maybe do a live stream, maybe do a live video, but then keep the one like scripted, edited video and do that. Some of my friends. So I am a part of like a collective called Fried Ink. With 2 manga creators, Ren the Governor and Craze Kai here they're in Jersey, and that's where I'm from. So friends, Ren the Governor has been like my brother for like close to 10 years now. And he creates his own manga and things. And so we have this collective where we're trying to, they're Christian manga, trying to navigate the space, trying to enter the space. And so we've come together to try to figure out, okay, how can we do this together and be on the same mission while supporting each other? And so there's some stuff that they have in the works that they're including me in that's happening, but I don't think I can reveal that just yet because we still gotta figure out that stuff. So that's happening there. And honestly, just still trying to figure out how to grind and make stuff happen on the channel, man. I'm still honestly I want to get a part of the YouTube partner program. I am close but still very far, and so I'm like, okay, bet, like how can I do that? So that's a little bit, so nothing too crazy for 2025, but I definitely still want to still crank out videos. I need to watch more anime, to be honest. Like I watch anime like probably like weekly, like probably 1 episode a week or whatever, but I gotta get my bag. But it's a little harder when you when responsibilities are around you and stuff. So But you guys
yeah.
know that you guys know that really, really well. So I gotta start taking some tips from you guys, figure out how to do this.
Yeah, for me, how do I get my anime in these days? At the gym. At the gym, like if I'm on the Stairmasters or something, I'll got my cell phone.
Mhm.
If I'm eating, like the cell phone has been like, it's unfortunate, but
It's the way to do it, man.
like if I'm whatever lunch break, I'll throw it up and then I'll be eating, and I'll watch the episode, and any break that I get, that's how I kind of. That I feel like for a long time, it's gonna be a while before I can just sit down and be like, okay, let me sit down and watch this anime, because like
It'll be a little bit.
because you finish work, for me and for you, it's like you finish work, you get home, you gotta feed the kids, gotta go through the night routine, gotta spend some time because you're gonna create orphans if you're not there for your family. So and then by the time all said it's done, it's like 8:30. You also gotta take care of your marriage. You gotta spend time with your wife. So by the time it's all said and done, it's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, man, time to go to sleep because I gotta wake up the next day.
Yeah.
So those, for me, the easiest way for me to be able to keep up with the few animes that I am these days is just doing them like that, like in pieces.
Yeah, you have to do them in pieces.
When I get a break, I'll just watch them on my phone. And
I mean, like I was lucky enough with paternal leave that I was able to.
yeah,
catch
well,
up.
this guy's lazy right now. He's just chilling.
No, I'm back to
Nice.
work Thursday. Back to work Thursday, so like, you put me onto Hajime no Ippo. So I watched that.
Yo, okay.
Oh man.
Yeah. And like it's weird for me now, right? Just because of my gym schedule now, I can't watch anime as I'm doing stuff. Well, actually, I figured out how to do it now, so I'm going to start doing it again. But it's like, I got pretty far in Hajime no Ippo, and you got me onto Blue Lock. Like now I'm watching Blue Lock.
Nice.
And then it's
Oh, that's one thing I'm trying to do. I've only released one episode, but I'm trying to do
Love
some
that show.
watch-alongs
Okay.
with Blue Lock. So I want to watch, want to do one of those, like, give my thoughts as the anime is going.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get that time because you have to sit there for the 20 minutes, got the stuff
Yeah.
recording, and
Yeah.
get it all recorded in time.
So like
Yeah.
for me, it's gonna be going during lunch, and that's that and start. I'm trying to start series as they come out. So like Kaiju number 8, that
Yeah,
was
it's coming
easy to
out.
follow.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait for that. Bleach as well. I'm a big Bleach fanboy. I've been able to keep up with Daima and Dan just because there's not like 1,000 episodes to catch up with, right? Like
sure.
I'm not like you trying to like what you just caught up to One Piece now or
Almost.
Wait,
I'm in
wait,
the.
Manny, I thought you hated One Piece.
oh, this dude's a
No,
One
no,
Piece
no.
fanboy.
It's a love-hate relationship, because it's good, but it also has its terrible moments,
Got
because
you.
it's like it drags on, and I'm not a manga reader, so I'm stuck to the anime,
That's what I gotta get back on.
and there's. Have you seen it? Are you caught up?
Oh, for One Piece?
Yeah.
No, I'm still stuck at the what's that where they find Brooke? I'm still stuck there. I have not got past it in like so long. So I'm far behind. But because YouTube like love and people on YouTube love spoilers,
Yep.
I know what's going on, right? Like I'm kind of like, and I don't mind spoilers, but like my wife was a One Piece fan, so I can't really mention spoilers around her. So I gotta still at the
Yeah.
yeah.
You're better than me, man. I'm on episode 3.
One Piece is a grind, bro. It's a grind.
Yeah,
It's
a
like-
grind I don't want to take on.
It's
I'm
like
all
life, it has ups and downs, and you just got to go through it.
I'm all
But
set. I grinded
Yeah.
through Naruto and Shippuden, man.
I don't know.
That alone, like I can rewatch that again. I don't know about trying to take on One Piece.
Mm.
Don't.
I don't know.
As a fan of One Piece, I would say don't.
No, that's very surprising from because most fans of One Piece are kind of like, yo, you need to do this. Actually, if you don't, you might not even be
I
a
just
real
know,
anime fan.
I just know the grind, bro. Like I just know the grind. It's a lot.
That was a
It's a
show
lot.
you had to start with. Like I remember when that came out in middle school, man. Like, I
Yeah.
remember buying Shonen Jumps, and it's like brand new show, One Piece, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, bunch of pirates, and it comes up for 4Kids TV. I'm like,
This
this
is
is whack.
this is my third go at it.
Okay, and you're
Trying to catch up there.
and you're far.
I'm in
like,
the last arc right now, so
Okay.
I'm getting close. I'm getting close to being caught up.
got you.
But what's his name? One of our friends told me that I guess now they're trying to be faithful to the manga, so there aren't a lot of fillers or even like
That's
fillers within episodes, which I think will make things easier. So I'm
Nice.
excited about that.
That's what killed Naruto.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, some of the fillers in Naruto was actually pretty dope, but Shippuden, nah, they messed it up there.
Bro, I want to actually. Did you guys see the recent? Can I you say you guys are watching Daima? Have you guys seen
Yeah.
the recent episode? The latest one?
Vegeta.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. Oh, we had a video on it. People are getting mad at
People were
us.
pissed at
Oh,
us,
really?
man.
So mad. Yeah.
So wait, was it you or was it me that said that GT is canon, like being just
I did.
Yeah.
So you said it wasn't canon, but then I said it's canon because it was on TV.
exactly?
And then people were like, "Oh, mad about it.
yeah,
Oh, look at these
they
people."
were legit going like, look at these idiots. They don't know nothing about Dragon Ball
Oh
Z. Some guy goes, it's implied that Vegeta could go Super Saiyan 3. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love Super
Yeah.
Saiyan 3 Vegeta, how it looks. I
Yeah.
think this looks better than Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Yeah.
My whole beef with that I told Manny was just the fact that because of where it is in the Dragon Ball Z timeline, it frustrates me. Because
You
Ultra
can't-
Ego overshadows this.
You can't
Gotcha.
please Dragon Ball Z fans, bro. Like you guys asked for something that was more adventurous, more of like the Dragon Ball story. You're getting it, and you're
Yeah,
still
that was
pissed
great.
off about it. You're still complaining about it. You get Super Saiyan 3, which is something that we've all been wanting for a long time, and we're still mad at it. Like,
Yeah.
you can't please Dragon Ball Z fans, man. That's when
Hey,
people get mad.
If they make once they make Super Saiyan 4 canon, then I'm good. I'm happy.
Are you sure? Because I'm sure
Yes,
you're probably
I
gonna
will be
complain.
happy.
Yo, that is crazy. So I remember. So when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." Because I remember playing. Do you guys remember Raging Blast 2?
Yeah,
Like the video game,
Yeah,
right? They had they had Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in there. I'm like, yo, this is kind of crazy.
Mhm.
It's like a great what if this is this actually happens. It
Yeah.
happened. And I'm just like, yes, this is what the people wanted. This is what we've been
And-
waiting for.
And the Super Saiyan 3 is a nod to the first original design,
Mhm.
Yeah,
which is
man.
dope. Which
Yeah.
is I thought it was
Yeah.
dope.
It looks better.
Yeah,
It looks better.
yeah, I love it. I'm like, Daima has been like, I said this in the video that I made about it. That Daima's been a treat for me. I'm like, yo, I enjoy this. All the anime that have come out now or that I'm watching, whatever. And to answer Religious Fanboy's question, the only animes I'm watching right now are Dan Dan Dan, which is over. But now still watching Daima. I think they're going to 24 episodes. I'm assuming they're going to 24 episodes.
That's what they said. Right around 20-something episodes.
Yeah, I'm in the process of watching Fairy Tail, 100 Year Quest right now. Shangri-La